I was gonna rant pretty hard today for the Roval, but it might be a clean rant today since she's here. And since she wants to join us, so we'll see
That's
how that
okay.
goes. All right. Welcome in everybody to ZB's Horsepower Talk. As always, I'm ZB Zack Brown, and joining with me as always is former 410 Sprint Car crew chief and mechanic, my dad, Jeff Brown. And apparently the little girl wants to join us this week as well, so she's kind of occupied on her own videos. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, share anywhere you get your podcasts, all social media platforms, as we continue to post all full episodes now on Facebook. So follow the Facebook page as well. A weird and exciting race at Kansas is all I can say. Kansas once again delivers in an overtime fashion. It was unexpected to say the least. Chase Elliott restarting in 10th at the green white checkered and ends up winning the race. The fastest cars all day were all the Toyotas. Chase Elliott took advantage of having the four fresh tires. He was the first one with the four fresh tires. Everybody else took right sides or none. And that paid off at the very end. A little bit of drama between team owner and the racer, between Bubba and Denny Hamlin. Yeah, Kansas once again is not drama free.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a good race. And we say Chase Elliott kind of stole that one. He was good all day. I mean, he was a top five car all day. It wasn't like he was just garbage and then all of a sudden showed up and snuck out the win. So he was, his car was good. Yeah, the Toyotas were fast, and it was pretty much Toyotas versus the Hendrick Chevys with a slight edge to the Toyota cars, but Uh, Denny Hamlin kind of got into Bubba, run a little bit, but Denny Hamlin lost power steering for one thing. So, you're going in there and he's going for the win. So he's hauling in there. You don't have power steering. And if you've ever driven a car that has power steering and you lose the power steering, it's harder than a car that would have manual steering. So for as fast as he was with no power steering, that's pretty impressive. And I mean, they didn't crash. Definitely got him up out of the way and then opened the bottom lane for Chase Elliott, who happened to be at the bottom at that time, and you know, took full advantage of it.
Yeah, I think with power steering, Denny Hamlin would have been able to make it stick in the
Most
middle,
likely,
and I think would have ended up winning that race. Honestly, I think he would have passed Bubba at the end.
I do
I mean,
too.
I like it. I mean, there would be and Denny Hamlin said it best on his podcast. He's like, "Do you not realize how much pushback there would be if he just let Bubba win?" Because that's his car. He's like, I don't race for 2311. He's like, at that point, I am the driver of the 11 car. He's like, I get paid a lot of money to win, or at least try to win these races. He's like, sorry about it, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah,
And they're going to sort it out at the Monday meetings, probably a little bit awkwardly. But I think I mean, when he cools down, I mean, everybody would be heated at that point because I mean, he had a chance to win. But at the end of the day, he's got to also think about it. He's like, well, I mean, yeah, Danny was going for the win too. So um, you're not just going to let. And Bubba was getting mad too at Tyler Reddick, and even the announcers were like, "Well, Tyler Reddick has a couple different jobs. Like, yeah, he's got to get a good push, but Tyler Reddick's also going for the win because it's a
right,
must-win scenario for a lot of these guys at this point.
right.
And now you're getting into the Roval where a must-win is very difficult, especially ones that are not predominantly good at road racing. And the Roval is its own little beast, and it's Rant will hold off for a minute on that. But yeah, Kansas needs to continue to be in the playoffs. Kansas has put itself in contention to be a championship race, I think. I don't know what the weather's like in
Yeah,
November in
that's probably the
Kansas.
worst part. It would be cold as crap there.
Well, I mean, this time they had in the 80s, so but or at the very least, push it to another round, push a little bit further, make it a little bit more of a crapshoot. Maybe even the round where Talladega is, I think would be really good. Um, but I'm gonna say Kansas got to be the best mile and a half track we've had in
That
the
was good
last five
racing.
years. They've done a phenomenal job. They always have a sellout crowd there because what else are you gonna do with Kansas besides watch the Chiefs? Um, but and Chiefs weren't home, so that's why it's probably packed. Um, yeah, I think it was good. Chase Elliott, yeah, he stole it at the end. He was fat. He was fast, but it was I don't know what her problem is. Yeah, it was Chevy versus Toyota. I thought Fords would have a better shot to show up a little bit better. Ryan Blaney had some stuff, bad stuff, and then ended up showing up at the end. So they pushed through. They're still consistently fast and probably the car to beat for the championship, especially going into Phoenix, where if he makes it to the round of four, those Fords they just got something working at
Yeah.
Phoenix in this next gen car. Um, I don't think I have anything else from Kansas to really bring up. Brandon Jones got a big time upset win at Kansas. Um, and when I
Yeah,
was
but
upset, it
really, I mean,
wasn't
he's
Connor
won there
Zilch.
twice.
Well, what I mean it was Connor Zilch that didn't win. So I
Yeah.
mean, he locked himself into the round of eight. Connor Zilch is locked in because he's like plus 110
Yeah.
points or something. Uh, I mean, let's face it, Connor Zilch, unless something really bad happens in the round of eight, he'll make the championship four. Very likely he's going to win the championship. He's just good everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, and then it just kind of goes off from there. The Let me check on my bracket, the playoff grid challenge right now and see how it's going through this. So again, the one person I did not, I was trying to do an upset was SVG, and then I'll look more on it now. But moving on, I did have Ryan Blaney. This is all looking fairly solid right now, besides SVG. Um, but now if you look at the cutoff, I did not have Reddick making it out of here, and I did not have Bubba making it out. And Cindric I had out, and I think I had Chase Briscoe out, but it might look like Joey Logano is going to be the one that
Yeah.
gets the
Joey
short end of
Logano's
it.
been struck, which, if you remember last year, and I don't remember how he got in on a technicality and they added one extra driver, but he was out. They added him in and he comes out and wins the damn championship. So,
That was
yeah, I can't remember what happened. They added one extra driver.
yeah, I can't I yeah, I'm blanking right now. Let me look at the playoff standings, make sure I get everything uh right. But in general, it's kind of going the way everybody thought. Again, the SVG thing was out of left field. I don't know what's happening right now. Okay, thank you. You just want to go to play, please? Um, Goodness gracious. Huh? So obviously the playoff standings, Chase and Ryan Blaney moved on to the next round. Larson very likely is going to move on to the next round. Denny Hamlin very likely. Bell, Byron. Then you get down towards the bottom is Chase, Briscoe, and Joey Logano are on the cutoff. Um, Chastain can make up in points. I think everybody else below him is going to need a must-win here at the Roval, and that's the only one I think that can actually win at the Roval at the bottom here is Tyler Reddick. Out of all of them, maybe Ross, but they just haven't been great this year. They've been
No,
okay, but I can see Reddick doing well because the Toyotas do have speed. And Reddick is known for his road course racing. Cindric will be all right, but I don't think he will win at the Roval. But if the Roval's proven anything the last couple years, anything can happen. It is kind of
that's for
random.
sure.
Larson was damn near locked in a couple years ago and had a bunch of just everything that could have gone wrong at the Roval did. At one point he was knocked out, and then he came all the way back and ended up winning it. Yeah, I know you're falling. Can you just sit still? All right, so let's talk about the Roval. Let's get into it. Let me do my little bit. It's gonna be a PG rant. So nobody likes the Roval. We're gonna start there. Nobody wants it. It was a cool concept when it started off to do something a little different. Everything gets old after about 2 years, and now we're moving on to what year six of it now, and it's just no. Nobody wants to deal with the Roval. No, it's the drivers don't like it. And this car does so well on the mile and a halfs. Like, why not get that other mile and a half, 500-mile Bank of America race at Charlotte? And I've been pleading that Charlotte needs to potentially be one of the championship races in the near
I'd
future.
agree with that.
I think that would do really well at the venue. It holds tremendously. The Roval's just bland. People don't really want to see it, and they're gonna try to say it's sold out. I'm gonna break it to everybody. It holds maybe 30,000 people now, and it's not gonna be sold out. It really isn't. No,
Yeah.
nobody cares that much about the Roval to really go to it, even if it is in race country. It's
It was a neat novelty, like you said. Now it's kind of, yeah.
Well, again, no driver wants it anymore. They do
Yeah.
not want it. Like I don't know why NASCAR wants to not listen to their drivers, and the fans don't want it. The fans never really wanted it. I mean, it's put on some good races, and you can try to sell tickets based on all the promotions from the previous races, sure. But fans are smarter than that. They're like, you can't see half of it when it's going
Yeah.
on the infield. Don't know what's going on. You're watching it on the big TV they have there. I'm like, well, I'll just
Yeah.
watch it at home then.
Right. I was gonna say, might as well just watch it at home for free.
Yeah. So I mean, it's because it's not the same feeling of like when you actually go to a road course, and so it's just different. It was neat at one time. Just now, it's they played it out. They played it way too hard, and they're going back to it next year. And it's just they can't figure out that nobody wants to do that and deal with it. I mean, they finally listened to the drivers and the fans that they're going back to Chicagoland. So maybe eventually, after uh, enough arguments and begging and pleading, that they will go back to the Charlotte Oval. The Roval's fine. It would put on events for like the IMSA series, and I'd even say like IndyCar needs they could come back to Charlotte. I know they had the Oval tragedy there, but this would be one way you could earn them back and get them back. The IMSA puts on fun races there, but they also do it at nighttime because they have headlights. Not as much of a rant as I usually go
Yeah.
on the Roval. This one, let's just play it as it is. SVG is probably the favorite to win it, but it is a little bit different than a regular road course because again, it's literally half of an oval track. So that plays a factor. And even though you only go about 150 to 160 miles an hour around the corners, getting back up to speed, so it's not the same because you're accelerating on the corner instead of more of a deceleration or just continuous speed through the corners. Um, I think the only thing left to do for this then is give her NASCAR fantasy lineup for the Roval, and I'm struggling right now in NASCAR fantasy. God, I'm struggling. You whipped us last week somehow.
Yeah. Well, you know what that means. Dead last this week.
Well, you said that last week too.
What's that?
So I am 23 points ahead now, and you're within 100 points now. So you could potentially win this thing if you keep doing what you won by like 50 points last week.
Yeah,
It
I
was
need to do that a
insane.
couple more times, but so we'll see.
So why not? I'll let you start off first. Your NASCAR lineup for the Roval.
All right. So my starting five, I have Shane Van Gisbergen, shocker, right?
Hmm.
Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, maybe a little surprise here on this one. Chris Buescher. In my garage, I have Ryan Blaney. Featured matchups: SVG versus Allmendinger. You know what? Allmendinger has just not been fast anywhere, even the road courses. So I got SVG. Denny Hamlin versus Bubba. Well, they put this for the drama. Denny Hamlin's is actually a decent road racer. I think Denny Hamlin's faster. Chase Briscoe and Ross Chastain. Hard to bet against Chase Briscoe. And the last one is the toughest one. Austin Cindric versus Tyler Reddick. They're both probably in must wins. I'm guessing so, but I have Tyler Reddick on this one. You know, just had a baby and everything, so he's got a lot to race for.
Well, that sleep. You said a sleeper is Chris Buescher. Well, he did finish second at Watkins Glen. So
Yeah, you just don't really think of him, as
yeah, a
an
lot of people
outside.
don't. And shoot, that could be the difference that you make this week. I'll give what? You're not following. All right, let me give you my starting lineup for this week. So again, you got to have SVG this week. That's got to happen. Just no question about it. Got to have him in the lineup. Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, Michael McDowell. Very good road racer. I have to not use a lot of the really good drivers right
Yeah.
now because I only got a couple that got two left. So I'm not trying to overkill. Larson is one of them, but I've got to have Larson the Roval. Traditionally, he's really good at the Roval. And Chase Elliott I have in there as well. And in my garage is AJ Allmendinger because he's won at the Roval before. He could potentially show up randomly. That is one that could be very random that shows up. I know he's good at road courses, but not been fast like you've been saying. Uh, Feature matchups is SVG, AJ Allmendinger. You got to go with SVG. Don't even think about that one. Or you're overthinking if you're trying to something else.
Yeah.
How are you tilting my camera? Stop grabbing that. Denny Hamlin versus Bubba Wallace. Just got to go the experience right now. The guy that most playoff experience, and he's super hungry for this championship now. Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe versus Ross Chastain. Don't be surprised Chastain randomly shakes it up. He always does at the cutoff races.
It
Uh,
does seem that way.
but I do have Chase Briscoe just based on those Toyotas are just good. They're pretty quick. And Austin Cindric versus Tyler Reddick. I don't think this is a hard thing to pick at all. I think it's a no-brainer. You got to go with Tyler Reddick. And Austin Cindric for sure is in a must-win. Tyler Reddick very likely must-win. He could make it up in points though potentially. So it just kind of depends who has a bad day.
He would need help.
Yeah, and it can happen. It happens a lot
Oh
at the
yeah.
Roval.
I would be shocked if one of the top 8 teams right now does not have some kind of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it
I
goes.
mean, it could easily be somebody. It could even be one of the ones that's locked in has an issue. I mean, it just seems like one of those top guys always has some kind of
And that would be, I
problem.
mean, those would be obviously Chase and Blaney. They're going to go for the win. Why not at this point?
Yeah,
They're going to take risks, so the risk might not be worth it. So the must pick this week, according to DraftKings, of course, SVG. This is insane that his odds are plus 105.
yeah.
Usually in NASCAR, everything is around, excuse you, um, this one or this one? Okay. Um, so plus 105 is actually insane odds to get for anybody to win. It's not even, I mean, he's doubling your money. That's literally what it means. NASCAR is usually around plus 3 to 400 generally for the favorite. SVG, I mean, he's won every road course this year, so I mean, give that to him. But
Everyone but one.
yeah, um, a good pick's Christopher Bell, and that's plus 1,000. So that's one I would
That's the
look.
other road course winner this year.
Yeah, that's the one I would look at if there is one. It says avoid Denny Hamlin, so what do we know? Uh, but they don't take into account that Denny Hamlin.
We don't have him in our lineup though. I don't anyway.
Yeah, I don't, but in the matchup I
I have
do.
him in the matchups.
But Bubba is good road coursing, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna stick with Denny. It says a sleeper's Joey, but I don't know if Joey's not great at the Roval traditionally, but
yeah.
as long as he just basically has a solid day, he'll make it into the next round. That might be all they're really gonna try to look for. Let's give our picks to win this race, and I've got kind of a surprise pick on my end. I'm kind of going for broke. I didn't make it 3 weeks in a row, but didn't cause Larson to crash, so that's always good. He still had a solid day at Kansas, which he's needed just some momentum going on. So, my pick this week was it's changed a couple of times, but I think I'm going to lock in one here in a second. So, what's your pick?
All right. Well, Mom and I are both in agreement on this. We both picked SVG on this one.
Wow, going out on a limb. I'm not, I actually am going out on a limb. I'm with one of the must win under the cut line, needs to win to move on. Again, you said he's got a kid. He's good at these road courses. He is due for a win, does not have a win this year. He's going to go for it all
Surprisingly.
on this race. I've got Tyler Reddick winning at the Roval.
Okay. Very possible.
The biggest race this week, I know it's NASCAR cutoff race, but for us and most of the motorsports world, it is the Williams Grove National Open.
Yeah.
We'll touch on that a little bit. It is, yeah, it's probably about the third biggest race in the country
Probably.
for sprint car racing.
It lost a little bit of its prestige, but it's still one of the crown jewels. I mean, everybody wants to win one at Williams Grove. I mean, Darren Pittman keeps coming out of retirement to try to avenge his 5 second place finishes on this race. So, look for him to run good. And our guest a few weeks ago, Ryan Timms, is going to run the Williams Grove National. He said he wasn't going to run it.
Well, I think
He
that
is
was
coming
more of an
in.
executive decision by their boss saying like, "Well, we've been doing so, winning everywhere we're
Yeah, yeah.
going.
I mean,
Why not try to go? What was it, 75,000 to win?
something like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so why not try to make the trip worth it? They had the Outlaw tune-up. I didn't see where he finished in the tune-up race.
Uh, 10th, 12th area. So I mean, he made the show and everything. He didn't time trial all that good. That's kind of hurt. So,
Well, that's
but
kind of what
in
he.
Williams Grove, you just don't show up and go fast. I
Well,
mean,
that's where he finished in the first couple races before the Tuscarora
yeah,
race, and he ended up winning the Tuscarora.
yeah,
So possibly a
yeah. You,
learning
you
point
just don't you
there.
just don't generally just show up and go good. It's just a whole unique track. There's no other track like it in the country. I mean, it's just a strange deal to get that car to go around the track fast.
And one that's been racing really well this year and he gets around Williams Grove better than any other active driver right now is Lance DeWeese. He's racing so well. The team's got it going. He's got a couple wins this year. The car's been fast. If he time trials decent, look out for Lance to win this. I think this is the best shot that you can see the posse get back into the win column at the National Open. You're going to see the drivers like Rico Abreu come back and try to win there. He's won at Williams Grove, so he knows how to win that. Um, you're going to Brent Marks, obviously a lot of the high limit guys coming into town to race the
Yeah,
National Open. That's going to be big. Hopefully the weather will hold up. It seems like the second half of the year, the weather's finally
yeah.
cooperated with in Pennsylvania. So we'll hopefully at least get one, but both nights in, I haven't looked at the weather, but fingers crossed everything goes well for that. We don't need to give any picks because I don't want to jinx anybody. Uh, I didn't see if Donnie Schatz is racing at the National Open or not. I didn't
Yeah, I don't
see
know. I
any.
know he teamed up with Jason Sides Racing, and beautiful car. I mean, that car is sharp. I mean, Shots won that race. I don't know how many times. Would not surprise me to see Shots come in. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a
Shots gets around Williams Grove, especially once it's if he hi, especially once it slicks off a little bit. He can get around that track. So
yeah. Like I said, don't be surprised if Lance gets around there. Don't be surprised if freaking Ryan Timms gets a good
yeah,
run. It's 40 laps if I'm not mistaken, and
I think so.
they do a mandatory red or do they just run that straight through?
No,
I think they run that
I
straight
think it's
through.
straight through.
Yeah, because I think the only ones they do that are
But
for
you get more than one caution, they're gonna throw a fuel stop.
yeah, well.
You burn a lot of, especially we're getting cooler air. Williams Grove big track. You're gonna tight corners. You crank those motors way up. They suck some fuel. I mean, so it's personally I think it should be putting bigger tanks on them, but that's a whole different rant.
Yeah, similar to the Silver Crown cars.
Well, they hold 75 gallons. They ain't gonna put anything on that
I said
big.
similar, not exactly.
They do have a 33-gallon tank they can put on, but
Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be good to see. Exciting to see. It always sucks they race that the same time as the Roval. Then like Larson can't go up there and try to
yeah.
get a win. I mean, I guess he could technically, but he generally doesn't race during the playoffs anyways because he's
I understand
focusing.
that. It's
Well,
probably
I
eating
mean,
his
it's always good.
contract.
It's good that he's not sprint car racing because then you know that he's still in contention for a championship. Because
Yeah.
if he were, he probably wouldn't have been in contention right now. I don't even know if Larson's ever not made it out of the round of 12 in the playoff format. Now I'm thinking of it. I know he's not made it through the round of 8, of course, but I think he's made it through round of 12. The time he wasn't going to was he came back and freaking won that race.
And won the championship.
Yep. So I think that does it for this week. We'll touch on everything that happens again for next week and go because she's over it too.
Yeah.
All right. She's miserable right now.
I see.
But make sure you guys just share this, subscribe anywhere you get your podcast. And leave a comment down below who you think moves on in the Charlotte Roval. And if you want to give us your pick who wins the National Open, go ahead and do that too. Okay, we're out. See you guys
Yeah.
next week.